Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Fantasy Couch podcast here where we talk fantasy football and NFL. All right, we're going to start it off with a little story. The story is not going to be as good as my Washington football team story, not anywhere near as good as that. But we keep continuing. We're building. It's just like a TV show. It's like a season has episodes. We're going to keep building from the last episode, from the last two. So I'm gonna have a little story time. I'm gonna talk about a weird thing that's happening in my drafts right now. I'm in a lot of drafts. We're gonna talk Cam Akers. That's gonna probably be the bulk of this podcast. I think Cam Akers news is huge and needs to be discussed. I think a lot of people have heard and kind of figured it out, but I'm gonna tell you where I stand on it and how to attack it with essentially where to draft Darrell Henderson and what to do with Cam Akers if you're in the dynasty. There's a lot of it like dynasty. I'm going to be talking about the new NFL announcements with NFL protocol. All right, let's start it off with my little story. I've been meaning to tell you this, but let me know what you think of what I did. Okay, so I'm getting calls about partnerships and sponsorships. Okay, so one deal that I just struck, I took about 10 to 15% more. So essentially, if I'm to give them $100, I got about $111 worth. Okay. 10 to 15, break easy numbers, okay? Breaking it down. So I got 10 to 15% more, but instead of taking money, which I could have, straight cash, homie, instead of taking cash, I got it in all high stake entry fees.
There you go.
This site's known for high stakes fantasy football. So I have 3 entries into $500,000 tournament. It's just regular season long fantasy football.
Big time.
And I got one. First place wins $500,000. It's super hard to win, but still you can finish I don't even know what the top, but I'm assuming top 100 gets paid, or I could finish 5th place, something get a huge amount of cash. So it's big money there. Also, I took one, and then I'm in one league. It's a $250 dynasty league, so I'm doing that draft right now. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. So, man, hopefully I win in some of them. But what do you think? Was that dumb, or was that smart?
No, let it roll. Let the money roll. Put it in the big stakes game, and you know what you're doing best when it comes to those leagues. So I would trust it.
Yeah, I'm doubling down on my skills. I'm having fun. This is something I'd kind of probably do with my own money anyway. I'd put it on some crazy fantasy thing, and I'll probably film a lot of this and make good content out of it. Because
Reinvest.
you know what all these fantasy analysts do is they film first of all, they copy me. Let's just be frank, because I started, filming the drafts. That was me. But a lot of them are doing mock drafts, and it's that's so ridiculous, they're free. You don't learn that much. I'm going to be doing mock drafts. They're great, but it's not the best content as far as entertainment and as far as value, because you got people drafting like Blake Bortles and Tim Tebow and
weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Or just they're trying. I do weird stuff too, to try out strategies, and that's people just don't care. When it's a league with a few $100s on the line, when you can win $1,500 or $500,000, it gets really intense and really different. So yeah, hopefully I do well in those, and I think I'm gonna enter some more. If I figure I'm already entering a tournament, might as well enter some more.
That's great content, I think, for the viewers. Like you're saying, those guys are really taking it seriously when they draft.
Yeah, and coincidentally, I've hopped on this website 6 years ago, and it was very humbling. These guys whooped me. I could tell they were on it, because it was the same one. It was a $350 entry season long. And back then, I really didn't have a lot of money either. So that was kind of a big deal to do one entry into that. Well, that's it for me. I'm not entering any more tournaments. And so it was really humbling. They knew how to draft. They looked at their scoring settings. I don't think the word tight end premium existed back then, but I think their settings were tight end premium. I was like, oh, what's that? 1.5? Whatever. Like, who cares? Like now the game's changed. I've gotten way better and way smarter, and I know a lot more, and I'm way better. Also, so is everyone else, though, too.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
lot of, like I said, the word tight end premium. Maybe it existed. I didn't know it existed 6 years ago, though, when I entered this tournament before. So a lot of phrases have changed. Like when we and you started playing fantasy football, word PPR didn't exist. Like
True.
it's totally different now. Exposure, consistency, target share. Like these are all things. Like I don't think these things even existed. Like we didn't even look at 15 years ago.
LT got like 20 some odd touchdowns when we were first playing fantasy football.
Yeah, LT was the man. He's actually one of the Hall of Fame fantasy players of all time.
Oh, yeah.
LT, Peyton Manning, like there's a few of them out there. So some of the Chiefs running backs back then. Anyway, let's not digress in the past. I don't want to be one of those guys. No, not a lot of boomer talk. But that's my story. That's what I took. And yeah, shout out to myfppc.com, FPPC, for doing that and being. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a good deal for them. So
Oh, yeah.
I guess I don't even have to think. They're probably like, this freaking idiot. This guy's great. He doesn't even
More
want
free
cash.
rolls next year.
He doesn't even want cash. Like, what? Like,
He's just going to promote us on YouTube.
Yeah, and they only pay like 10-15% more in the product they're selling, which isn't even a product. It's just, they got to give out the cash at the end and everything. So it's real, but it's great. Like I'm literally me helping fill up their big tournament, which is the whole point. They're trying to fill it up. That's their business. All right. So
you ready?
Yeah, let's put up this draft I'm doing right here. So what are we talking about last episode? Dumb, or 2 episodes ago, dumb fantasy football strategies. And so here's one that I actually don't think it's dumb. I do think it's bad and I wouldn't do it. And this is why. So right now we're doing a best ball draft. It's a slow draft. It's just the 12 of us, so it's just 12 team. And I'm saying that because a lot of best balls nowadays are those big tournaments where you could win $50,000 or $200,000. This is not that. This is just a 12-team league. And my buddy here, Smitty, team 9, he went Patrick Mahomes round 3. That's totally fine. And then, he started making up a bunch of excuses and he had his reasons to why he drafted Josh Allen. Now, I argued with him and I told him why he shouldn't, but it's so hard, via messages. And frankly, I didn't have time. I'm done with it, but here's why it's wrong. So his point was that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen aligned perfectly in 2020. When Patrick Mahomes was off, Josh Allen was on. And when Josh Allen was on, Patrick Mahomes, whatever, vice versa. Their game is aligned perfectly. When one was hot, the other was cold, and vice versa.
So and strikes twice, I guess, this next season, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it doesn't. If anything, it means that it's not going to happen next year that way. And look, everyone has these guys as their top 2, essentially. If you don't have, everyone has Mahomes 1, and vast majority of rankings have Josh Allen 2, if not 3, if not 4, whatever. It doesn't matter. So we all got him top 2, but you have to recognize that there is a lot of luck involved. There is a lot of just being wrong. Like, I feel like it's too egotistical to be like, these are my top 2, therefore they're going to be top 2. That's just not true. What was everyone's top 2 last year was Mahomes and Lamar. Like, you got to understand when you're wrong. It's all about the price you pay, okay? So even though I'm very confident in my top 2, I got to realize that, and according to this guy's rankings, or at least what he says, he loves Herbert. So he's putting him top 3. If he even doesn't have him in his rankings, he's thinking Herbert could finish top 3. He said that. So it's like, would I rather overpay and get for a backup quarterback on my team and draft him early and miss out on all these opportunities, or take another QB that I like almost as much, like just a smidget? We're talking about, milliliters, millimeters, like really, really tiny amounts here. get Herbert. What is that? 1, 2, 3 rounds later.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the 8th round, it looks like.
it's ridiculous. And now it's causing a chain reaction because now Team Smitty has to completely go off luck for tight ends and completely go off luck for wide receivers. Now, not according to him, he's probably going to draft Noah Fant here and think that that guy's going to get quality and quantity of targets. But we know he's not going to get quality targets nor quantity targets on the Broncos.
Neither.
Yeah, neither. Yeah. It's stupid. Okay, that's his point, whatever. But we know he's never good at picking tight ends anyway. Still,
you picked some good tight ends.
Or yeah, I did. I mean, I think, yeah, I did. But I'm just focusing on his team now. Yeah,
good point.
So I'm going off less of luck for tight ends because I'm picking two that that have a higher floor, that we can rely more on being good this year. And so it's going to start a chain reaction because instead of Josh Allen, he could have got a top 6 tight end, right? Instead of Josh Allen, he could have got his wide receiver 2. And that's great that he got his guy Javonte Williams in round 6. Like, that's totally fine. I like that pick. But yeah, man, you're going to be going off a lot of luck at tight end and wide receivers. So I'm not with it. And just so you guys know, in best ball, quarterbacks do fall. So I don't know. Keep that in mind as well. It's all about the price you pay. And boom, look at that. Herbert in round 8. Like, I think that was an amazing steal. And I absolutely love my team, man. So my team, by the way, shoot, I don't know if the audio listeners got that. By the way, Smitty, so he's team 9 out of the 12-team leagues. He went Devontae Adams, Antonio Gibson. Then he went Patrick Mahomes round 3. And then he went with a running back round 4, David Montgomery. And then round 5, he drafted a backup quarterback, Josh Allen. And that's what we're talking about, which is you can only start one quarterback in this league. And it's just like, I get it in best ball. You want those boom weeks and solidify it, but you could do that with 3 quarterbacks, right? Like, you could do that. You could pick Aaron Rodgers. You could pick, really any 3 quarterback. Like, Jameis Winston is cool. Stafford's great in this league for sure. Cause everyone thinks he's going to be really good, but there could be some adjustment periods. And that's best ball. Like, if you get Stafford super late, that's a great price to pay because he's going to have those boom weeks. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows he's going to throw, in a game, he's going to throw 4+ touchdowns here and there in McVay's system. We know he's better than Goff. Yeah, Stafford's a great example. There's just so many, man. Tannehill, maybe when he's behind, he's maybe not the best boom quarterback or whatever. I'm against that, but let me try and get a guy who's a best ball expert. I'm very good at best ball, but I need to step my game up as well. Maybe he can school us. Maybe there's some data to tell us why this is dumb or why it's not dumb. So I'll see if we can get him, as a guest, because that's another thing I want to do. Like, I'm pretty good at best ball, but I've never taken down a huge tournament. I haven't crushed every best ball yet. Finished second place and third place a lot. So I'm pretty good at it, but I want to learn. Like, I just want to be great. I'm not at that elite level yet. I'm like at what am I now? I think a little bit better than David Montgomery. I'm trying to get to CMC level. I'm trying to be elite, Oh,
I heard that. Yeah. And a guy like that could help for sure. Give a little more strategy, a little more insight to just how you put teams together.
Yeah. So we'll see what he says. Well, this is Ron right here. Actually, I've never. So this comment here, I keep seeing Chris Carson and Will Fuller on your team. Secret love. So actually, he's inaccurate. I actually never draft Will Fuller. Maybe he's thinking last year. That's probably what it is. So that last year and this year is totally different. Last year, he had a guy named Deshaun Watson, and he was the best wide receiver on that team. So that's when I took him at a steal. Now you're paying the same price for a more crowded wide receiver room with a guy named Tua who's totally unproven and could be a bust. And don't take that the wrong way. I hope he does better, and I think he will. But let's just be quite frank. He's not Deshaun Watson. His upside is to get close to what Deshaun Watson is. Like, that's what you're hoping for. So it's totally different. This is best ball, and I figured that Will Fuller is one of the last in the tier. So there's a huge tier fall off. As you can see, these are the two guys that went right before Will Fuller. I took Will Fuller at the end of round 7. Hollywood Brown and Mecole Hardman. So that's just so it shows you how slim it's getting at wide receiver. So I took the last wide receiver of that tier. Then I took an elite quarterback, Herbert, and I was already set. So I got Calvin Ridley, Hopkins at the first picks. Then I went Chris Carson, and DeAndre Swift on the next picks. And then I went back-to-back tight end. I went Hawkinson and Mandrews, hoping that I can achieve that that's videos try to do with Mahomes and Allen. When one, I figure between those two, I should be good at tight end, and they have different bye weeks. But Will Fuller in this type of league is good, not just because he was the last of the tier, and I'm going to probably go running back next, but because he has those boom weeks. He is a risky player. He's a boom or bust player, and you want a bunch of boom or bust wide receivers. Guys like Deshaun Jackson are perfect for this league. You can get him late. If he just plays 2 games well, that's fine. Like, those are the boom weeks. As long as he gets in your starting lineup, that means he's helping you win.
Yeah, it seems like if you get guys that take the top off the defense just here and there, or at least every 3 or 4 games, that's a good boomer bust candidate for a lineup like this.
Yeah, so I love my team so far. I need some more running backs. I think I'm doing well, right? Like, I mean, I don't know, man. I love this team.
I mean, getting Herbert so late is just incredible for sure. But yeah, Fuller definitely could be a little shaky with Tua. We'll see. I just hope that they can hit the ground running. We'll see.
Well, it's risky. I got him for the boom. I never ever draft him in any other league, but best ball, it's for those boom weeks.
Like, and you got D-Hop. We have some D-Hop news later for the listeners.
Yeah, D-Hop and Calvin Ridley. Everyone's educated here. Most people have heard about it. Let's go to Cam Akers. Cam Akers is tearing. He tore his Achilles, and I'm gonna have a little exercise for Drew here.
Let's do something else real quick. Sorry, I pulled up a visual we're gonna use here in a moment, but
okay, so
what am I looking at?
Where to, look, it's fine. This is good. This is a good view. Where would you draft Darrell Henderson? Now I have my answer, and so we're gonna see where Drew does. When you got salad at a fancy place or something, and they come with that pepper shaker, and you got to tell them when
Red
to
Lobster
stop.
or something.
Yeah, you got to tell them when to stop. So this is what I'm gonna go through the RB ADP. So basically, the top running backs. You're gonna tell me where to stop, and that's where you would draft Darrell Henderson. Okay, let's just say this is redraft. Doesn't matter how many teams. Doesn't really matter if it's PPR either. Okay, you ready? Okay. Let's just pretend it's half PPR or whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. So nothing in round 1, right?
No.
All right. So let's start it off at the end of round 1. Okay. So Austin Eckler.
No.
Aaron. Well, no. You tell me when.
Okay, keep going. Then
I'll just tell me when to stop. Yes. The pepper. Yes, I'm gonna putting the pepper on there. All right. Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Antonio Gibson, Cam Akers, Joe Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, J.K. Dobbins, Chris Carson, David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, Myles Gaskin, Mike Davis, Kareem Hunt, James Robinson.
After Kareem Hunt.
Okay, so I didn't put too much pepper on there. You can still eat it?
No. I mean, you got
did you stop at the right time?
You got a little spicy on me. I was trying to stop at Kareem Hunt because that's what I was thinking about in my head.
You stopped it at the right time right now. Yes, you stopped it at the right time. All right, so you're kind of low on him. I'm a little higher. I think he's
well. I don't know how that offense is going to shake out now. Supposedly, there's a couple running backs that could pick up some carries in the Xavier Jones and the Funk guy, Jake Funk. But I mean, they could bring somebody else in too. Who knows?
Do you think early? Do you think Scope picked it up just because of its name? Yes or no? Answer?
Oh yeah, he's a George Clinton fan, I'm sure.
For sure, right? Yeah, it's a yes.
He wants the Funk.
He wanted because we look and then like, oh crap, this guy picked it up weeks ago.
Oh god, he was all over that. He was like out of the draft, picked him up right after. Our dynasty draft was like a free for all. You remember that? Everyone was just literally
he picked him
picking
up
people
that
up.
day right after the draft. That's when
Oh
he added,
yeah, I think it was somewhere around there, somewhere close to that.
he added the funk. Okay, so I would have stopped it. So you stopped it at. So you would draft him
Before James Robinson, after Kareem Hunt.
after Kareem Hunt. Okay, very specific. Okay, now I would take him before Hunt, before Mike Davis.
Before
I would also, I got Javonte Williams higher though. So I'd take him after Javonte Williams, after Myles Gaskin, after Josh Jacobs, possibly even. Yeah. So I got him right around where people take Mike Davis. I think that's a great place to, I think that's a great visual for people, right? Or a
Yeah.
great understanding, not visual,
Definitely.
but so right around the time you would take Mike Davis, I would probably go Gaskin before him. I'd go Javonte Williams before him.
Me too.
Josh Jacobs, like around there. I feel like he's the same as Josh Jacobs, was just way riskier. Like probably too risky for me. Like that's a little crazy. Like Josh Jacobs, I kind of know what I'm getting with him. I know that he can handle the workload. Like he looks like a workhorse. He's proved it. Like he'll be a-okay.
Yeah,
I'm
he'll
not
be solid.
I'm not enamored by Josh Jacobs, but like
No.
around there. I'd say that's a good Mike Davis, Josh Jacobs before Kareem Hunt. That's where I would take him. So hopefully that helps you guys out as to where to take Darrell Henderson. Now, if you have more faith in him and you're more risky, I mean, Miles Sanders, I hate. He's like one of my biggest busts. So you can take him.
No,
before,
you don't like him at all.
Yeah, you can take him before Miles Sanders, but don't take him before J.K. Dobbins. Don't take him before Mixon,
no.
before Clyde. Don't take him before Chris Carson. That's just silly.
Don't let Clyde fall too far. I mean, people are down on him for some reason. I know Mikey's not a big Clyde fan, but I like him this year.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous because the price you pay is so cheap. And it's really the only reason I'm not trading him away in my rebuilding dynasty team is because
I would trade for him if he was available.
Yeah, like because he's a buy low, like I gotta wait for him to have a good year. So I think David Montgomery, that's about a good spot. David Montgomery, if you want to draft him before that, if you have a ton of faith in him, I would not. But I think he has the upside to do better than Montgomery. I'll put
there's
like
people
that.
out there that are Rams fans or really big believers in that offense this year who may feel comfortable taking him that high.
Go to the best, bring up the best ball again. Go back. Let's go back.
You got
in
it.
Time. Look at where he went.
Let me make sure I didn't give a peek at our other visual here.
Look, team 3. No, it's fine. We're about to talk about that too. Team 3.
So team 3, Davis Maddock. He took Alvin Kamara first round, Clyde Edwards-Helaire second round, Darrell Henderson third round.
3.03.
Yeah.
So the news happened, by the way, in round 2. So yeah, this guy drafted Cam Akers. Then the very next day, Cam Akers, that happens to him. And Darrell Henderson goes a bit early. He went before J.K. Dobbins. He went before Chris Carson, Swift. I drafted those two.
Kelsey number 5.
Montgomery.
I didn't necessarily see that originally, but Kelsey going number 5.
That's actually good. It's a good best ball strategy.
I believe it. I mean, that's
just because and you could see what he did. One thing you can do, Drew, in best ball is draft 7, 8. Let's say 8, not 7, 8 or even 9. Like just crappy boom wide receivers. I'm talking Mecole Hardman, Henry Ruggs, Deshaun Jackson. Some guy on the Chargers, whoever, which not the first two ones, Guyton or Tyrone Johnson. What I don't know his name. Sorry, I mean he helped me make a ton of money one time, but I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, Tyrone Johnson. You're right.
Josh Paul. I don't know, but one of those guys, not the top two. So a bunch of those crappy wide receivers that have a lot of boom, like those guys that can work. And he didn't. I know I can. didn't quite do that, but you see how he attacked it right after. So you just got to go with the strategy and go all in. So he went.
Yeah,
he actually has a good team because he went right after that Aaron Jones, then CeeDee Lamb, then T Higgins, and Ayuk, then Cortland Sutton. Those are all touchdown guys.
Etienne,
boom guys, and then Travis Etienne fell. I don't know how he fell to that guy. That's awesome for him though. Like
how did Javonte get taken over Travis in that case?
Touchdowns.
Yeah,
I can see it, but I mean like this, but that's a wide gap though. It's like both of them kind of fell. So it is what it is. All right, let's go to tell the people what the chart is. Well, I'm turning my camera.
All right, guys. So this is a chart. Now I want to say first, thank you to Chris Mose. He's one of our captains in the Fantasy Couch Discord. He actually sent this into our captain's
Well, he
chat.
ripped it off someone off Twitter that we don't.
Well, thanks for ripping it off Twitter, Chris.
Yeah, by someone who deserves credit, but I honestly don't remember.
I transposed it into here, so
yeah.
In any case, we're looking at players in the last 10 years who have ruptured an Achilles tendon. Okay. NFL running backs in the last 10 years who've ruptured an Achilles tendon, and then the result of their careers, so to speak.
So I'll just go through some names really quick. Lendell White, Andre Brown, Michael LaShore, Ernest Graham, Kendall Hunter, Beanie Wells, Vic Ballard, Joe McKnight, Arian Foster, Brandon Oliver, Dante Foreman, Isaiah Crowell, Marlon Mack. So out of all those names, only 2 guys have not been doomed, and that's Dante Foreman. That's at least what Chris told me. Is that?
Yeah,
right?
he played a total of 7 games in the last 3 years, basically. He played 6 games last year, so that's encouraging.
So that's the highest. That's not even success. Oh, that's like the closest thing to success. Is that what they were trying to say?
Well, also remember, Michael LaShore ruptured his Achilles in 2011. He did come back and play in 2012, but he was out of the league a few games after basically the 2013 season started. He was cut in 2014, I believe, but he was hurt again. So it's just not a good sign that you don't necessarily have like an
I got you, but all these guys were done. I was trying to accept Dante Foreman and Mark. Yes. So what happened to Dante? So essentially, Dante Foreman played way more games. Is that why he stands out than all these other guys?
Yeah, he literally has just played, I think, the most games out of these guys.
Basically. 7 games since 2018. And keep in mind, we have audio listeners too.
Good point.
So Dante Foreman is the highest, the closest thing to a success story out of this whole list of everyone who's ruptured all the running backs that have ruptured their Achilles. And then Marlon Mack is to be announced. So he's coming back this year behind Jonathan Taylor. It gives you more confidence a little bit more confidence for drafting Jonathan Taylor late round 1.
The year of the Mac?
I think. No.
I know. I'm just
not this year. It ain't this year. It's
bad news. Bad news.
This is pretty significant data. I've seen some doctors live streaming that also basically agree with this, that it's very, very tough.
I do want to correct us just real quick though. Looking at Michael LaShore's stats, he did play 14 games, it looks like, in 2012. So I mean, if we're going by games played, he has played the most games after rupturing an Achilles.
Yeah, so he did have a year after that.
Correct. He did have a whole year.
He played a lot, but he wasn't explosive.
He lacked the explosiveness, according to the notes here.
He was a poor man's LeGarrette Blount.
Yes,
a really poor.
I won't compare him to the size of anybody because we know how that'll go. I'll just compare him to the most ridiculous sized person on the team.
He was big though, right? Was he big?
Now you're gonna make me look up his size.
Yeah, look up his size. We
got to 6 foot, 230 pounds.
It's a big back. Yeah, it's a big back.
Not big. Not a. He was a hungry guy at the Thanksgiving table, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a big dude. Yeah.
We do got a question though. If you want to address this question, or would you rather talk a little bit more about Cam Akers? Cam Akers and some of the
question. Different... Well, basically, it's a hard to come back injury, and Cam Akers is going to have to. Something's going to have to change, either modern technology or him being young. He's gonna have to break this mold because it's a pretty bad injury. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or J.K. the Dobster? I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It's really this simple. It's the Chiefs offense. Ravens they run the ball, but RB1 is always Lamar, and it's slow paced. I'm looking at an offense that's so freaking explosive. You got to pay the quarterback $500 million, and that's supposed to be a deal. It's supposed to be a discount. You break a record, and it's supposed to be a discount.
We get the guy for 10 more years.
Yeah, but $500 million. So I'm looking
10
at
years.
That type of offense. And look, Clyde was a disappointment, but if you're looking at it last year, if you're looking at some kind of curve here, there's no good rookie running back last year, not as a whole year. I mean, he held off Le'Veon Bell. He kind of held his own. He lacked touchdowns, but now they got 4 offensive linemen. He's going to be involved in the passing game a lot more than he was. So you got to think of last year for rookie running backs is like an extended training camp. You know what I mean? So the first 2 weeks, that was still training camp. The next 4 weeks, that was preseason. They didn't have any of that. And then, they get Lev Bell, and then we're dealing with all this stuff with, what's that dude? Kyle something Hilton starting for the Broncos. Like, it was a crazy year last year.
You're right. That was wild.
I'm over here trying to stream Madden simulations to try to keep the hope alive because I don't know if we're going to have an NFL season. A lot is going on. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I love J.K. Dobbins, but it's got to be the right price, right? I'm going mid-round 3. For Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I'm okay with very late round 2. I'm okay with early round 3.
That addresses Big Bob's
couch captain. Then. Yes, couch captain and Big Bob's in the building. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is being slept on only because people reached for him last season. That's right, Bob. Recency bias. He didn't even perform bad when he played. I believe he finished as RB2.
I believe in him. Guys like that take off.
I thought he finished RB. Can you look that up? I think he was the 10th best running back in fantasy last year. Well, a lot of people got hurt. So yeah, I think just by default, he was like RB 10 or 11 last year. Yeah, he was good. Just lacked a little bit of touchdowns, lacked a little bit of consistency. And, it was a crazy, crazy year.
So the stats are coming in here. We're loading them up. And it looks like
just
Clyde finished 22nd.
Amongst running backs?
That is amongst running backs. That's standard scoring. Let's look at PPR.
Yeah.
PPR, he also finished 22nd.
That's terrible. That's bad, actually. That's horrible.
I mean,
there's no way. Yeah, no, you're looking at 2 points per game. 22nd? That's horrible. That is horrible.
Yeah, that's what I got. Did you find something different?
No, that's got to be it. I just remember wrong.
He fell off late in the season, though. That's the thing, guys.
He did.
I mean, it's okay. I still feel confident that in year 2, he's going to really take off and do something special, especially in that offense, like you keep saying, with linemen now. And the fact that these guys have a learning curve. I mean, coming into the NFL, you don't necessarily just hit the ground running, learning these playbooks and whatnot. So,
yeah, weeks 1 through 16, he finished RB 19, so not really much of a difference.
Sorry, I looked at 1 through 17.
It doesn't really matter. 22nd, so that's pretty low. Yeah, I can see why people hate him. No, I'm definitely still going with what I said. If he's there at 2.10, 2.11, you got to take him even that early. So actually, this is good that we looked this up because there's one point that I missed that I forgot to say with Cam Akers. That's absolutely huge. Okay, so the Cam Akers injury is not going to boost every RB up one spot. It's going to make a huge difference. It's going to push Antonio Gibson to round 1 in some leagues. That's right. A guy who's going 2.12 now is going to go more like 1.12 possibly in some leagues. It's going to scatter. We scatter all the marbles and then we try to push them in a little bag or so. I don't know, but it's going to be crazy. So we're going to scatter everything, and then things are going to change. It's not just going to be like, this replaces that, and that leapfrogs that by one spot. No, things are going to get crazy. People are going to be like, man, I want an elite running back, because Cam Akers was going late round 1 on rare occasion, mostly going early round 2 most of the time. So when a guy like that just falls off and is like, nope, we can't even draft him anymore, it's going to change a lot of things. So a guy that I love, like Antonio Gibson, is now going even earlier in round 2, and you'll see he'll sometimes go to round 1, especially if we see him running in training camp and looking good, and that toe injury is just BS, like I always thought. Not BS, but I mean, like, people are scared of that toe injury, and should be.
Right.
Yeah, don't be scared of the injury. Like, there's so many variables that you have to think of that as a very, very tiny variable when you're drafting players, because things like Cam Akers could happen out of nowhere. So a toe injury, that happened like 6-8 months ago or something, I got to consider that basically a non-factor. So that also goes with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's a little bit more down on the rankings totem pole, but that makes Clyde Edwards-Helaire more valuable. It makes Joe Mixon more valuable, Najee Harris more valuable, and even a guy like Dobbins possibly more valuable. That's why I like, actually Chris Carson is like, he's not affected. He's keeps going lower and lower. So that's a super sleeper. Chris Carson's going nearly round 4. He's going to be the hands down the workhorse on the Seahawks. Another great offense, get a lot of opportunities, lots of touchdowns, even some catches there.
I think he catches the ball a little more this year, actually. Just a feeling. I mean, with that new offensive coordinator,
I'd say so too. I'd say so, and it really doesn't matter. But yeah, if anything, I think he does catches
slight boost.
Couple more balls. Yeah, it's great. In short, this injury is tough to come out of ruptured Achilles, at least for running backs. So how many leagues did you have Cam Akers in Dynasty?
I had him in 2 leagues. So I traded for him in the Empire League last season before he broke out. And then this season, I'm in a captain's league on the Discord, and I had traded again for him when Sushane decided to rebuild. He came to me and asked me if I would be interested. So I had traded for him twice. I haven't actually drafted him. But thank you for bringing that up. I know you said it's a hard thing for people to swallow, but what you may want to know, guys, is there may still be some value out there in terms of trading Mr. Akers. I personally sold 2 acres of prime real estate just this last week, actually the same day he was injured. So do you want to go ahead and give your analysis on this one, Mr. Brain?
So you traded away Akers, is that right?
Twice.
And
twice in the same day.
This is just one trade we got up now.
This is one trade.
This is the one trade. Yes. Okay. And then the next one you did in the same day as well. Okay. You sold all your stocks. You're like,
these are in chronological order, by the way. This was the first trade.
So the first trade you made to sell off Akers soon after you heard the Achilles injury news. I
heard the pop literally from where I was at. No,
you traded away Akers and you got Van Jefferson, Elijah Moore, and a 2022 third round pick. This is from Danny. Let's not hide him. We don't need to protect this.
I cut off both the guys that
oh man, he got fleeced so bad. It's so ridiculous. This is before he saw that table too. Before that table was floating around our Discord.
I believe so.
And oh my God, like this trade would be a good trade for you without Van Jefferson. And I'm not even a fan of Van Jefferson, but in a dynasty league, 3 wide receiver dynasty league, PPR, you're getting a very young, somewhat promising wide receiver. It's a good depth piece. Like it's something. It has value for sure. So you get Van Jefferson, and then you get dynasty darling, dynasty superstar, Elijah Moore.
For now, at least.
Well, come on. Like, we love him
I like
in
him.
Dynasty. Come on. Dynasty, he's amazing. He's talented.
I want him to pop off so bad in that offense too. I'm rooting for the Jets.
It could take a year. That's fine.
That's
fine.
okay.
This is
I'm
Dynasty.
in nowhere to win this year, by the way. I'm not.
Okay, yeah. You don't like. I think he pops off week 6 or 8. But even if it happens next year, that's fine because Crowder is still there. So whatever. But we love Elijah Moore, and you got a pick. So this is just nuts. Danny just didn't assess the risk. And what's funny is that he seems like did you propose this to him or he proposed this to you?
I knew you were going to ask that. So he started it. We were in the chat, obviously, just discussing, and he tagged me. He goes, "Hey, I sent you an offer. This is what I think he's worth." He sent me a 2nd-round pick this next year, 2022, and then a 2nd-round pick in 2023, or something very close. 2 2nd-round picks.
That's not a bad trade either.
No, and I was thinking, hey, I mean, maybe I'll. But the thing is, I had been actually talking to Danny for quite some time about getting Elijah Moore from him.
Yeah,
this just happened to kick the door open on that, because I was like, well, I'll pivot and I'll ask for Elijah and a little bit more, and it was a quick accept. I mean, I literally sent it and I was just looking at my phone. It was already complete. So very nice. I didn't even bring it up in Discord either. He did, by the way, and he asked for some feedback. So I have not initiated this once. Yeah. I can't move on to the next one though, if you're ready.
Well, just so you know that you absolutely crushed it on this trade. That was a great one. Yeah, because you're getting real deal players and assets right now, and all he's doing is hoping that Cam Akers comes back. And also, he seemed like the desperate one here, which is crazy. You should be the one desperate and panicking, if anybody. Because one of your stud players could have just ended his career. If you're looking at, let's look at this from a human perspective. You're looking at it from this, man, he didn't get his 2nd contract. His 1st contract's not that hefty. And it's sad because if he got a 2nd contract, this wouldn't have been that bad. You at least got, some more money. You can live off that rest of your life easily.
Oh yeah.
This is bad news, man. This might really, jeopardize your whole life, your whole career. But if you got that 2nd contract and you played a little bit off of it, even a year, you'd be set for life. You'd be good. Your whole family would be set.
Yeah, well, this one is really tough.
Yeah, he just played 1 year. I don't know. I mean, not saying he's poor or anything, but it's just, it's bad because it's because of injury. If he sucked, that's different. But I think he would have been good and he would have earned a 2nd contract and got huge payday. It's just bad news. All right, you shipped him off again.
So that inspired me actually to put him on the trade block in another league, thinking, maybe I'll get another bite. Oh, so I threw my fishing pole out there and.
Wow, this is a good one. Well, you had to possibly give up a little bit more here, but you got a good asset. And
I think I'll take the asset in 2000.
On face value, this looks good for both sides, but it's not. It's not. So you shipped Cam Akers and a crappy pick. It's a 2023, and in return, you only got one thing, and that's a 2023 first. And this is from Big Jim G. Now he's got a good team, right? Because he's been trading for a lot of players.
I think his team is above average, honestly. I mean, I think
you don't think
have a bad year. I mean, I don't. I think he's a competitor. He's a contender this year, but he could fall off in a year, and that pick could be mid-round. Could be
because it's about how he finishes in 2022, technically, right?
Right. So I have a year to basically see how this develops.
Yeah, well, it's a 1st-round pick in our favorite draft class, 2023. So that's huge, and I don't really know what he's getting. He's getting a guy he has to put on IR. He's getting a crappy pick that he's going to do nothing with, and I really like this, man, for you because and I doubt he saw that table. He's over there on Germany time. He just moved out to Germany. And he gets that table 16 minutes late. 16 hours late, so he didn't even see it. He's seen it right about now. He's like,
oh yeah,
crap, Michael LaSure. Dante Foreman, Marlon Mack. He's like, oh God.
Yeah, this is one where he had to wake up for it to get accepted. So he basically hit me and said, "Hey, this is one I want this guy." I said, "Okay." He sent me an offer. I sent him this other offer first, just for the first round pick. There's a couple counters back and forth. We came to this, and then he woke up and hit accept, like smashed it when he woke up. So there's a big conversation afterwards about it.
That was a good one.
Good times.
The last trade was much more obvious that it was in your favor. This one seems a little bit more even, but I think you did well. And I think that was good to get rid of Cam Akers because there's so many variables working against him and really only 2 working for him, that he's young and that there might be a miracle in some kind of technology or something, or just, just better ties, just more modern medical advances that's gonna help.
That's all you can really hope for.
Yeah,
you're watching Marlon Mack real close this year. If you're Cam Akers owners, I mean, you have to be. If Marlon Mack shows like that he can be decent, maybe there's hope. But they lose explosiveness when they hurt this Achilles tendon.
Well, I didn't like Marlon Mack before he got hurt, so I don't know. Like, he's gonna have to look better than he did before for me to be like, all right, there's pro. Because there's gonna be like, he's not very explosive. He's very mediocre. He can't do one thing great. I'm like, that's Marlon. That's Marlon Mack. That's always been Marlon Mack. That's always been him.
Oh man, that's actually good analysis there.
Yeah, he's
Marlon Mack.
He's been okay. I mean, I don't know. I never thought Marlon Mack was that good. So but yeah, you want to see how he does. All right,
yeah,
NFL,
I was scared when I saw that thing that Chris put into the Discord.
It's significant, and I saw other people back it up as well. Let's move on to NFL policy. So, 18-week season. Their NFL has announced that they don't plan on adding a secret or whatever week 19 in case of having to adjust games or anything like that. So if the NFL is not able to reschedule the game due to a C19 outbreak, then that team who had the outbreak will be forced to forfeit the game and a loss on the regular season record, or probably even playoff record, but I'm sure they can reschedule a play. I don't know. Playoff sounds scarier. Sound like a tighter ship. You can't just be like, all right, we're adding another week.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Just if you make the NFL playoffs, just stay at home or whatever. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, literally.
Don't do it. Don't take the minimum risk, because that's gonna be even worse. And DeAndre Hopkins put out a tweet and he deleted it, I think, within a few minutes. Never thought I would say this, but being put in a position to hurt my team because I don't want to partake in the vaccine is making me question my future in the NFL. And he tagged the NFL, and DeAndre Hopkins tweeted that, and he deleted it soon after. It is what it is. This is a lot of, this is tough times. This is crazy. And DeAndre Hopkins is a great player. Wish the best for him. I think we need to just take a step back, still be very grateful that we got football. It really wasn't too long ago where we thought NFL might not exist. Oh man, my comments and DMs were all full of like clown emojis and people saying NFL is dead anyways. There's not going to be a season anyways. And yeah, man, people are really haters like that. Like, I know like it's kind of a joke to them, but they're really joking like, oh, that's so cool. You're not going to make any money this year. Your career is in jeopardy. Like, like, how are you going to feed your family? Like, that's really their joke, is like, oh, you lost your job this year. Like, haha. And it's like, haters. It's just such a weird joke. You know what I mean? I would never go to like some unemployed person and be like, dude, you could be homeless this year. You know that? Like, I wouldn't, like, how is that a joke?
It's just ridiculous.
But online, that's cool though, because they just like sports is a place where I think trash talking just comes natural. So any type of trash talking is cool. So I responded to everyone. I was like, don't worry, dog. I figured out how to plug in my PS4 to my Mac, and we'll be streaming these fake little football games on the thing where they grunt and throw a ball, whatever. The game hasn't really been updated in 7, 9, 10 years, whatever. I don't care. We're going to be going off that and playing fantasy football.
It's not bad. I like the latest Madden. I'm definitely going to be getting the newest one when it comes out. That's for sure.
It's the same thing the past 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, when you play, it just makes you feel like it's football season, baby. Like,
you know what? I had to stop. It's very, the game's very frustrating. And then,
it's definitely hard to play.
Snoop's video that went viral, he got so mad at Madden and he left. And some people criticize him like it's just that's all those people criticizing him have never played Madden.
Oh yeah.
Like I control my anger great almost all the time. Like I've never thrown the controller. Like my friend like threw a controller and broke his TV. Like what an idiot. Like I've never done anything like that.
That's terrible.
But Madden is like some of the most rages I've ever had. Like, and so that's just one reason I had to stop playing. It's literally you playing against these guys who are pros. They play like 16 hours a day. There's no way you can beat them. And then when you lose to them, like it's very frustrating. Like I don't know why. It's so frustrating.
Well, when you get beat with 1 or 2 plays, literally, like it's frustrating to let alone.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the game. Like it's cool. No, I'm not telling no one to stop playing or whatever, but like that's one reason I stopped. My happiness went way up. I was like, dude, I'm always frustrated. Like what I would do is I'd make someone else frustrated, they'd get pissed off, and then the next game I'd be like, I'd get whooped. They put up 40 points against me, and I'd be like, wow, okay, this is ridiculous. And that was annoying. But we had the simulations going last year, and it was fun. I am editing the Instagram Experts League video. It should premiere tomorrow when this podcast comes out. So that's Friday. What date is that? July 23rd. So Friday, July 23rd, early evening, late afternoon, whatever, when people get off work, something like that. I'm going to premiere the video on YouTube. For those that don't know what a premiere is, it's like a live stream, but it's just, like it's not a live stream, but it has the live chat. It's, everyone's got their popcorn ready. You got time to go get your popcorn. You got time to trash talk. You got time to hype it up. If you're in the league, if you're one of the IG experts, go in there and hype up your team or defend your team or trash talk. So it's really cool. It's the biggest video I do yearly. Kind of made my career. I decided one day to put a camera up, record my face, and then record the screen while I drafted, and it turned out to be a huge thing in fantasy. And so I'm very, very proud of these videos, and I absolutely love this league. So shout out to Rob, aka a Fantasy Football State of Mind, on Instagram for starting this. He started it like in 2014. Me and him have been doing it the longest. I think we've been doing it for 6 years. About 6 years, something like that. This is our 6th year, and just keeps getting bigger and better every year. We made it super flex. So for those that have seen my team or know some of my team, don't spoil it for others. That's totally cool. I get it. Everyone wants to see it live. That's totally cool if you did that, but don't spoil it for the others. I revealed my whole team. It was, I'll put it like this. It was so intense. I kind of felt like throwing up before. I had so much anxiety. It's a lot of nerves, man, because it's the draft. Number one, it's the draft. So you're drafting. It's the Instagram Experts League draft. It's not your normal draft. So most of you listening haven't been in a draft this caliber where the lights are really bright. You know what I mean? Where over 500,000 people. I don't know how many people, like the total reach, but I know between just 3 accounts, 101 expert and me, I know that's 300,000 people potentially. So just out of 3 accounts, and there's other accounts in there with 50K, followers and everything. So yeah, 500,000 or 1 million people. It's nerve wracking. So it's that type of draft, heavy competition. I got to do a video. Last year, the video almost died. Like I almost couldn't salvage it because the audio was syncing like this. It wasn't like out of sync for 3 seconds and the whole time. It was like in sync, out of sync 3 seconds minus, out of sync 3 seconds plus, in sync. the whole video. And so
I can only imagine how you fix that.
I had more rage than Madden. I'll tell you that. Oh, I was cussing so loud. I worked on the audio at least 18 hours, just fixing these little, like this little wave
manually.
That went. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Just putting 4 seconds to the left, keeping 4 seconds, putting 4 seconds to the right, then 2 seconds. Like it was like out of control. So I salvaged. So I'm worried about the video. So there's anxiety over a big competition, a big draft. Anxiety over the video because I can't screw up. I got to make sure I'm technically good. Like I got to make sure everything looks good, everything's right, and it doesn't happen like last year. And then, I mean, on top of that, you got
to draft.
No. That's the whole part of part one, like the draft. The whole thing. But like, I know people's watching and hating. And I'm going to get better at it next year. Like I do tune, like it doesn't affect me that much. But when 50,000 people is going to watch it, sometimes 150,000, actually, some of the views, and just pounce on you for everything. Because no one goes there and tells me how good I did. Everyone finds something to make fun of. And it's there, it's loud. It's like playing in the Seahawks arena, when they pump all that fake 12 van noise in their in their stadium. I hear it, man. I hear something. You want to have.
God.
I have thick skin and all that, but it's still noise. Like it's there. You know what I mean? It's still there. And next year I'm going to get better because while editing, I came to, and which is too little, too late. But for next year, I came to a Zen moment, and I realized something I forgot. I need to put it on a sticky note. When I do something crazy, if I, quote unquote, screw up, because none of these screw ups really, no one, because I don't like screw up majorly, but it's all people's opinions. You know what I mean? No one knows how the year is going to play out, especially when you draft early. So I just got to remember that any risky move I do or unorthodox move or, quote unquote, screw up, because I've never totally screwed up on these, usually don't. Arguably, that's debatable, but I never had like a huge screw up where I like forgot to pick or like, oh, is this super flex? Like none of that, nothing that magnitude. That's terrible, but that gets more views. People love that more. Nobody is tuning into that crap to see me win. They're tuning in because they think they're better than us. They're like, why the hell is this guy on video? I'm better than him. Why are these experts, aka clowns, drafting? How do I get in this league? I'd whoop on you. That's all their attitude. And it looks so easy. And all these guys are so stupid, which makes no sense. You can't say all 12 teams are bad. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
like someone's got to win
every round.
We're not going up against the whole world. Someone's got to win. Like we literally draft out of the same players, and it's 12 people. Like someone's team's got to be good. It's just mathematics. So it's just proof that people come to hate. And last year was the biggest proof when I unanimously crushed the draft. When it was a part of the video. This is a cool reminiscence moment. A part of the video, I went like this. Something's telling me to draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I was like, I feel it. I was like, I feel it. And I reached, according to me, I drafted him at a great spot, but like, I'm going to go Helaire. And I went with Helaire, I don't know, at the end of round 2 or beginning round 3, whatever it was. And then a few hours later, Damian Williams opted out.
Oh, that
of
is
the
nice.
season, and I crushed the rest of the draft. Like it was and I have proof. I almost won the league. I went all the way to the Super Bowl. I got the number 1 seed locked. Like it's proof that my team, like everyone knows. Yet every comment talked about my bye weeks, and I made a video and I replied to everybody.
I love that video.
That all you guys are stupid. Like I didn't say that, but I'm just summing it up. Like you guys are dumb. Like it doesn't matter. Like, give them all in 1 week. Like, you really think I'm going to draft in July and my team's going to be the same in October when the Chiefs are on bye? Like, that's the dumbest. Like, you think no one's going to get hurt on my team? You think I will make no waiver moves? Like, that's all I do is waivers. That's what I'm known for. Like, I do waiver moves. And you think, like, I'm not going to trade ones? Like, nothing's going to happen. And you also think I'm going to lose. Well, guess what? I won week 10. I won week 11. All right, I'm signing out. I'm gonna go back to editing, but I won those 2 bye weeks and I almost won the league. You know what? It just makes for better content that I finished second place in 2019. I finished second place in 2020, and I'm coming for the crown in 2021. All right, I got to finish editing the video. Video premieres Friday. Is sick, man. Can you wait for it or can you not wait for it? Are you prepared for this?
I'm really stoked for this one, actually. I have a sneak peek of what we're going to see.
But so don't tell anybody. Yeah,
I know.
You saw some of my roster. That's fine. That's fine. You can't wait. I love it. It's okay.
I'm a little lucky I get a sneak peek on certain things, but I can't wait to see the rest.
I've always wanted to make films, and no one can tell me that this isn't a film. That's the thing. Even if you knew my entire roster, you're going to really see what happened in my brain because it was intense as hell. And if you look, you can tell I'm very, very anxious and nervous. Like, not nervous, like, not like that nervous, but I'm like, I'm moving around, I'm pacing, I'm like stuttering a little bit. I'm like, I'm very excited, very nervous, good energy because it makes it more exciting. And you know what? A lot of people drafting, they told me the same thing. It was super, super intense. And that because when you get all these people in one draft, they have their own rankings. Like, they reach for their own people. And then you throw in the super flex, which we converted into a super flex just starting last year. Now you have no idea who the hell's going to go anywhere. And so that adds way more to my anxiety and the excitement. You have no idea. Like, it could be all the QBs can go right away or none of them. Because last year, no one drafted a QB. I got Josh Allen like round 6.
Oh my gosh.
Done that round 6 in a 1 QB league is super late for you. He doesn't even fall to round 6 in a 1 QB. So I got him like round 6 or something. I think I got Matt Ryan round 4 and then Josh Allen round 6. Like, nobody was drafting quarterbacks. And this year, it might be different. All right, I'm going to sign off. I got work to do. Thank you, guys. Make sure you subscribe to us on social media. Subscribe to the podcast. Everything is at Fantasy Couch on social media. Peace.
Take care.
End it.